Welcome back, everyone. It's the American Aces AFL show, and as you know, we are joined by our man Daisy Thomas and Mitchie Wallace. We'll get straight into it. I'll talk to Daisy off the top. He's had another romantic night with the corn. I missed the show. What's going on with this bromance you've just got going on?
I don't know if bromance is the word, but we punched out episode 2. It was very good. Spoke about a lot of things, none of which we will talk about today. We're going with new content today. Don't tell them, but I've saved me best stuff for today. But what about the glow on the man to the left?
I was just going to get to him. The wedding. Well, give us the rundown on the wedding because me and Daisy wasted a lot of energy worrying, and we looked at the photos, and I don't know about you, Daisy, but it looked like they were just living it up.
Mate, it might be washed out. There's all these issues. You're staying in a bloody mansion.
It was a marathon of a wedding. Look, we got up there on the Sunday, and the first required appointment was on Tuesday, and then we had pre-drinks, and then we had bloody preparation drinks, and then we had the actual wedding, and then post-recovery drinks. So it was an absolutely huge wedding, but phenomenal. Look, it was quite a show. It was the closest thing to a rock star wedding that I reckon I'll ever go to. Some special guests, but look, they both
had. Lead us in. Billy Brownless is there.
Do you have a wheel? Spin the wheel.
He didn't have a wheel. He's not on our level yet. But no, but Billy spoke really well, I must admit.
Can you give us a quick insight just on the speech?
It's a rarity.
He did. He's speaking about his daughter, and he loves his daughter very much. But look, he threw a few F-bombs in there, which really loosened up the crowd. And he spoke first, as I mentioned.
That's the hardest place to go first.
Yeah, but it just ensured he maintained some sense of tidiness with his speech. But no, it was phenomenal. And look, we were very lucky with the weather, and the venue itself was pretty special.
Tell us about the pad, though, the one you were staying at, because we were genuinely concerned. We sat here last week, we don't know if he's going to be able to get there. We don't know what's going to be happening. Is there going to be trees across everything? And you sent us a photo on the Friday Arvo, and it looked like you're at Jordan Belford's holiday house.
It was one of his holiday houses, I reckon. No, but it was on the Sunshine Beach cliff overlooking the beach, 3 levels of pure bliss. A lot of marble, a lot of glass. Look, there was a private Scotch cabinet. There was a wine cellar. Look, I could keep going on, but it was And then I checked the invoice at the end of it, and there's no wonder it was like that.
I was going to say, just pushed it to daddy and off you went. What about your week, Train?
Oh, hang on, don't skip to me just yet.
Why?
What about this? There's someone at the wedding. We're not skipping over who was playing tunes, are we, Daisy?
Well, I thought we were going to save this for when we had the video later.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure whether that was going to come up. And what you're alluding to is the celebrity shout-out. Are you saying maybe save it for Wals?
Well, I just assumed you're at the wedding with... You can say
Let's save it. Let's save it. Because if he hasn't got that bloke, then you would say it's an almighty mayor.
You've sure...
Mate, I've gone all quiet here.
If he hasn't got that is one of the all-time monumental stuff-ups.
Zach Ryan on the guitar, biggest country singer in the world, was at the wedding playing tunes all night. So...
And we had to get a celebrity shout-out for the Prophet Propeller.
We'll save that.
Well, I reckon he might have him. I hope he does.
I'm so confused. He's either the greatest poker player of all time or just shit at getting guests.
So, Train, talk us through your week. Like, you came in, you're dragging your feet, and now, you did turn it up when you introduced the show, but talk us through it. You're a bit upset,
I've
mate.
got a bit of a bone to pick. And it's around the Richmond-Cremorne area. But the parking fines, I've stacked up 6 in a month, and I'm starting to really get angry because I'm trying not to get them. I don't know about you boys, but
how are you trying not to get them?
Are you reading signs?
Well, I'm hustling, boys. I'm hustling, The hour coffee you had with me, doing the run sheet today and whatnot, I was 1 hour and 6, and I've been stung by 4 minutes.
And
so
you've set up a direct debit, Well,
they've actually got, they actually go to the folks joint me stuff. So the old girl's not happy. She's seen 6 in a month. I'm starting to get a few messages, but I don't know about anyone else out there, but I am starting to really stack up the parking fines.
It seems like a rort now, doesn't it?
Well, there's no parks anywhere. So.
And there's sensors on the parking, so you don't even have to do your job properly. You used to at least have to walk around and you'd catch me with the chalk. Now you just look at your phone and go, sucked in.
Do they get incentivised for stinging blokes and women, obviously? Probably.
I think there'd be a requirement of a quota. Commission. Yeah, a quota that they need to get. But
I need to call the bloke that's stinging me because I could get. I've given him a lot of cash over the last 6 months.
It's a revenue raiser, mate. They're just looking for cash.
Well, I need to talk to your old man after this pod, see if I can organise something for me parking fines. Let's get straight into the show, boys. I need to start with you, Daisy. You want to have a go at me, but let's talk about you last week because there was a Pucci hat. You should be wearing it.
From what? The Blues.
I just thought I can put myself in there, but you were miles off it. You tipped the Dons. I tipped Freo. Wal was very good, mind you, so you can stay quiet while we'll get to our tips in a second. But, mate, have you recovered covered because we were miles off it.
Miles off it. 41 points up the Blues. I was sitting there going, Daisy, you genius. Nick Minute. That was, my goodness. I would have loved to have known what they were in the run, the Blues. I'm sure we can find that out. 41 points up, and then obviously what the Tigs were playing, I should say. But a couple of sides genuinely stunk it up. The only good thing about that game, Carlton and Richmond, was the fact that my boy Chera, he got it done.
I knew you'd go there.
I'm sitting there. I'm calling the game for Triple M, and I started at 0-0 minutes of the first quarter and sent you boys 25, 24, 23 every time he touched it.
You sent a lot of texts in the first half.
Yeah,
You did. 15 at half time.
But it got us off to a great start, didn't it? It did put the pressure on.
I've said to him, go easy on the Thursday night games, and I don't know what he's doing this week, but putting your plums on the line
I'll give you
early.
heads up. It's a Thursday.
Oh, you're going again. Oh, you're unbelievable. Well, mate, that had our heart, pumping because he was on 21 at three-quarter time. He sat on the pine for 9 minutes.
Oh.
He went to half-back, and with 6 minutes to go, he hadn't touched it. And then he got a free kick for a blood rule, which got him to 23, I think. And then we got a couple of cheapies late. So it was a great start, mate. Well done.
Thank you very much. And it's good to see that you boys, got near it.
Yeah, I've got a
Freo are going to win. And Freo, me boy, who'd you have? Jai Amos.
Well, he doesn't miss. The problem is he didn't have a shot.
Just draw him a football and show him what it is.
I've got a bone to pick with Bevo because we touched on how they were going to curb Caleb's influence, and then they sent someone to him. And I'm flat. I think he was about 16.
Why didn't you think of that? You said it. Why didn't you think?
I didn't think that his ego would allow that. But
Well, maybe got him the win because my Monday prediction was Larky kicks 5 and North leap to victory. Now, Larky kicked 5 and North didn't win. Work that out.
Well, we need to work something else out that came in the WhatsApp last night.
oh, we do. This mail. Tommy,
This
big
is one of-
T-Train's mail.
You're talking me about Puch and that. Fires off a text last night just before I'm going to bed. Mail. Vossi sacked.
From a good source.
I forwarded a message on, and I'm gonna throw his name out there. Matt Taverner has sent me this, and I don't
Does
care.
he still play?
No, he's not playing, and he's got a great job, and he's surrounded with success in Perth. We're doing what he does, mergers, acquisitions, whatever it is. He has told me he has strong mail, and I said this is a load of shit, and I'm going to forward it on to the AFL Aces show boys, and you guys gave me crickets.
Well, rightfully so. There was
Well, I didn't
Zero
forward it on.
chance.
I didn't forward it on to anyone else because I thought it's just a joke. But if it broke, you would have said, "Oh, trainer, you are on the money." It was a bit like a horse tip. I thought I'll run with it, but you guys won't forward it on.
Yeah,
so he got it from someone else, and I thought, well, let's just see if this one flies around. But yeah, disgusting, putchy mail that wasn't it?
It got me a little bit excited that you were going to be breaking some news. But
Yeah, Tommy Schefter over here. No, I stay out of that stuff normally, but I thought I'd stir you boys up. Where are we going with our tips at the moment? Because I went 6 for, but geez, the ones I missed were the ones I tipped on the podcast, which was Freo heavily. What about you, Daisy?
I think I had 9 again. So 2 the first week and 9 last week.
What?
come on, Tommy.
Sorry, boys.
Tommy, he did
as
that
the
joke
host,
4
boys,
times pre-pod, and you've still fallen
As
for
the
it.
host, you got something in your head about, I'm meant to do a little segue, and he's lying to me, and I'm looking at him like, hang on a second, you're lying.
I'll have to go have a look in post.
Well, I got 7 for.
Well, there you go. Well, the reason I brought this up wasn't to pump you guys up, was to pump up this sick unit. And tell me why you think this is me calling him sick. But TH 2025 has gone 9 from 9 in the Aces
Real sicko.
AFL tipping. Tell me that person is just sick in their head, or they are just a magician.
Or just a full-blown Richmond nuffy.
Yeah, that's what it has to be.
Has 23 tips before the start of the season, and Richmond every week.
I would have seen the result from the Richmond game and still not tipped him. That's how confident I was in Carlton. You could
Yeah.
tell me right now, I still would have got less than.
It's one of the biggest upsets you'll see, isn't it?
Yeah, it was incredible. If you do remember, though, I told you last week they weren't as bad as what I'd first thought a couple of weeks ago. That was a real sort of asterisk on the covering me tracks, we call that, old Thomas.
I don't like covering our tracks because the tracks are a bit dirty so far for me.
Your tracks are well and truly
Hey, while we're talking, you've got a message here. I don't want to skip over the propeller, but there's a big segment coming. This is a celebrity challenge, Daisy, you brought to the table. We've bought in. By the way, lads, well done. We've all bought in. I love this. But unfortunately, me and you have let the team down, and we've gone back to the pres from Newcombe Power Football Netball Club, and he's got a little message for the boys.
Well, unfortunately, boys, the bet didn't get up. Daisy, you and I were the bookends and we got it done. And unfortunately, Tommy and Mitch, not sure what you were thinking, picking the wrong legs. Listen, honestly, our club loved watching it. We really appreciate the opportunity. We wish all the clubs the best for the rest of the year, and thanks, guys, and hope the podcast goes great.
Oh, good on you, Prez. Well, you know what? Watching that, it just makes me sad because he looks like such a good bloke. And
fighting back tears. He looked like he'd been crying for half an hour. He bravely fronted the media, and you blokes are happy to sit here and just smile and laugh at his expense. This is a disgrace, and you two need to take this more seriously.
Right.
$21,000 to a local football club would have been changing lives. You're whinging about $600 in parking fines. Pull your fucking head in, and you need to lift.
I do need to lift. No, but that was a nice message, though. I'm going to skip over that one, but thanks in the press.
Feedback's a gift.
We love supporters of the show, and that's a very
That's what
nice
it's all
message.
about, mate.
it is. It's disappointing. I was kind of hoping Rankin wouldn't kick too, just so Daisy was on his own and we didn't look too bad.
Yeah, I hope the press got rinsed.
Well, we'd already let the team down,
Yeah.
so I thought I'd rather go 1 from 4 than 2 from 4 and have more of a highlight on man. But you're right, the Prez. I feel like we need to organise something for a president that tips well. I've got to work something out with you boys another time because it's a bit unfortunate if we let them down.
Leave me out of that.
You got to leave with your chin, though. No, we got to leave with their chins.
You're right. Well, let's keep moving. There's plenty to talk about, and in the footy world right now, I think there's nothing hotter off the top, and it seems to be an issue every year. But the punters like myself, and probably you boys, maybe not you, Daisy, because you are an expert now, but I can't work out what a report is and what isn't. And there's a lot off the top. I'll start with these guys: Jackson Archer, Tom Lynch, Justin McInerney, and Jack Scrimshaw. They've all been reported, but the one that I really want to talk about, unless you want to talk about one of them, is Archer's 3 weeks. It's the one I just want to get your opinions on. I can't work it out. I'll give my opinion last. But Daisy, you started off. 3 weeks he's been handed. They've gone back and it's been upheld. Do you think he deserves 3 weeks?
No, I don't think he deserves any weeks. If anything, at the time, and this isn't taking away the seriousness of the incident and the fact that there was Cleary went across to hospital. It was close enough, and we saw this on the weekend, of contact below the knees. If he snaps his legs there, which way do you go? 3 weeks is a joke, a genuine joke. The reasoning behind it and the fact that he wasn't allowed to put the case forward that he slowed down, and they didn't buy that when they actually proved that he slowed down by 25% in the last 2 steps, that is intent to slow down. You can't go from 100 to 0. You need to come in with intent to impact, and then at the last minute he's tried to make a decision. I think it was absolutely ridiculous, and I think the AFL now are asking far too much from players in a game that goes like that.
The Tribunal saying that he should use more reasonable efforts to avoid the collision. Like, it is happening that fast, and talk about common sense. There's no common sense in that incident because, they're trying to penalise a player who gets ran into. He did slow down. I can't see in a football accident that occurs all the time, if he had broken his leg or he hadn't got concussed, totally different outcome. So, again, it's back to the medical report, which is bearing too much weight over the decisions of these outcomes.
I agree with both of you, and Daisy, you're right. Like, I said this to Toby the other day on TFG Tuesdays. What if he breaks his leg? Does he get weeks? Because we feel sorry for him. Like, the ball is an oval-shaped ball. It's a contact sport, and I just can't believe you're getting penalised for an accident. We play a contact sport, right? And the biggest thing, the dumbest way I can, dumb this down is you get weeks because you're a dog, is the way I put it. I'm serious. You're a dog, you get weeks, right? Well, Archer's not a dog. It's an accident, genuine accident. He wasn't dirty. It wasn't malicious. The intent's not there. It's just a footy accident, and it should be 0 weeks and move on. But because of this Bible and playbook they play with, where's the common sense come into it? I just feel sorry for I just don't know why Archer's getting 3 weeks for an accident.
The fact that the tribunal system and the gradings are so outdated. Like, that has nothing to do with how the current game's played. We're still going off a system that was in and brought into place from years ago. The current game has evolved to the fact that you need to take into consideration the pace in which the game is played. You can't sit there with a slow-mo button going, look at the time he had to think. You don't have that. It is split-second decisions. People are going to get them wrong from time to time, but unless the AFL evolves, we're going to still have these conversations every second week. You go to the Jack Scrimshaw one. He didn't mean to clobber Ridley, but it was a swinging arm. It hits him, he gets concussion. Bad luck. That's 3 weeks. That's not a footballing act. Yep. The one of Jackson Archer, it was, and I feel for the kid as well. 3 weeks for that it's not right.
And we'll move on, but even Justin McInerney, just unfortunate. You talk about a situation where Starcevic has had prior concussions, so he's susceptible. The hit wasn't big, but the fact that there was head involvement led to a 3 week suspension. So look, there's some parameters around these decisions which, like you said, Daisy, need to change because I believe they're outdated.
The AFL has got a stake in the ground around anything to do with the head. Yep. This has been the warning.
Yep.
This has been the standard, and this will be continuing throughout the year. Any concussion, because they become liable to any sort of suing or anything alike post-career, they are now bang, no more.
Carlton coach Michael Voss with a different take to ours, boys. My immediate response watching it was I thought that would be called that way, suspension. The reality is our game has changed. The reality is there's a duty of care on the player.
That's just towing a company line as much as you can. That's saying something without saying anything. I love Vossi, but that's what I'd be saying if I was a coach too.
Anyway, we move on. We don't get too caught up in that kind of stuff, but it's frustrating because I actually really like Archer, and we all know he's old man. Shinboner, he's just the man. And to see his development the last few years is awesome. And now to see him on the sidelines for 3 weeks in an incident that we don't want to take place is annoying.
Chuck your thoughts in the comments below because this will be the talk of the pub or the work site throughout the rest of the week. So let us know what you're thinking.
It would be good to get your thoughts. Righto, let's keep moving on. Harley Reid, does he need more leadership around him, fellas? The body language, the poor efforts we're seeing. What are your thoughts? It's a second-year player. I'll start with you, Daisy.
I think it's absolutely ridiculous how hard we are all death riding this kid. 20 games into a career. Look, at times his body language can be not great. He's a kid. He's learning the game. He's playing in a side who have not a whole lot of help around him. I was fortunate when I came in and played at the Pies that I had a lot of very good players around me, and some of the efforts that you see highlighted from Harley, not chasing, not going defensively, I would have done 50 times a week, but I wasn't the number one draft pick and the hope of a complete state over there, so no one gave us stuff. Now we are picking the eyeballs out of a kid. The talk of leadership and not enough of it, that's also, I think, pretty disrespectful to the people over here in the West. You've got, I said this last night, Luke Shuey's there in a coaching role now, captain of your football club, Norm Smith medalist, premiership player, All-Australian, 2 times best and fairest winner. You've still got Elliot Yeo, Dom Sheed. You've got leaders there to give them a clip and say they need to go and get some wise heads around them, I think is pretty far off the mark.
Yeah, and I think they're just, it's round one. Everyone wants to throw daggers, and we've got to give him some time, as you said, Daisy. You put it perfectly, actually. I reckon he's still going to be a star. They're just looking for a news headline. He's got a vibrato. He's got an ego. He loves puffing his chest, and like we all do, love pulling someone down. Like tall poppy syndrome that we always have is just trying to bring him back to earth a little bit, which, again, I don't love that about our culture, but I still think that he's going to be fine with the support of the leaders that you just said. I don't see anything why he shouldn't continue doing what he's doing because he's a star and he's going to bring a lot of fun and a lot of good times for that footy club.
You know what he is? He's just an old school footballer in a new school age. So you've got blokes who are coming in, Sam Walsh, Nick Dacos, they're doing their ice bars, they're doing weights since the age of 14. Oh, they're shaving their legs. They're getting it all done.
I think they're shaving, man. I think they're getting the laser.
Well, that's how high-tech they're going. Whereas Harley's
plugged something there.
He's a good country lad. He still likes a beer. He likes his mates. He will get it, but it'll get to the point soon enough where he goes, this is bullshit. I don't enjoy this footy anymore. And that's the last thing you want from a kid. The 20 games last year, he averaged 18 disposals, 4 tackles, 5 clearances, 10 contested possessions, and he went at a 72% disposal efficiency. They're good numbers for a kid. Give him a spell.
And, you want him to be friendly with the media too.
Well, they're not. Well, that's why we're here. We're to get around him. Reedy, we're right behind you, big
Get him
fella.
on the pod.
I know, we're going to get you on the pod, and we might even, when we spin the wheel, I might have him for 3 goals this week. I'll let you know later, boys. I'm going to back our man in.
But we just got to protect these kids because we want them to be able to speak their minds, be who they are, be individuals. Look, they'll cop some flack along the way, but not to a point. But not to a point where then they shy away from it and they don't want to embrace themselves.
Well, we're part of the media, boys, so it's good to have our opinion. That's why we're on the potty and just getting it out there. But while we're on that, I asked Toby Green, I said, how quickly do you think you can sum up a team or a player, right? How many weeks? And his answer was 5 to 6, you can be fair. How many weeks? Let's just be quick fire here, Daisy.
5 to 6 to be fair.
Yeah, 5 to 6
There you go. So let's just come back in 6 weeks. If you're really listening at home, don't judge the book by its cover in week 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. We're saying week 6, you can really say it.
Well, now, if you break it down, it's a quarter of the season, nearly.
Exactly
the trends.
Right. Speaking of judging a book by its cover, have you seen the Tassie Devils mascot? It's run out. It looks like Rory Atkins. We've got a rat on the loose. Have you seen the new mascot?
This reminds me of after after we won the grand final and the heads that came out of Tramp. That's what it looked like. Just cretins.
Name someone that comes in.
Let's talk through the committee that would have chosen this. What's the whiteboard discussion?
I'll tell you what, I know a few Tasmanians, mate, and there's not much creativity getting around.
Have you seen the official description of what it is? So the name is Rummun, RUM'.
Sounds like a herb or spice.
It sounds like it's coming with noodles.
A rub on the steak.
A cheeky Tasmanian devil that poos out footballs.
Oh,
that is the official description.
That is our first.
They put it to school kids, and the word itself means odd or eccentric person who's Tasmanian slang. If they have paid for this,
oh my God, who's the agency they've employed? They should be given the arse.
Come on.
Harley Reid's copped his fair whack this week.
Yeah.
Oh, the board or the committee or whoever put the rummun together. Shit.
Oh my God.
Question marks.
What do? They shit out footies. Is that what I hear? Oh my God. What are we doing? Seriously, we're trying to get this 19th team up and running. I can't believe what I'm seeing. The Tassie Rat.
Imagine the mascot at the game, though. At the end of the game, he's just jumping around and lobbing our footies out the old sphincter. Oh, come on, Tassie. It doesn't help him, though, does it?
It's on brand.
You've got carte blanche to do whatever you want. You can do anything. Right, the floor is yours, Tassie. Whatever you want, you can do it. What are your thoughts on a devil that shits footies?
Seriously.
You know what, mate? Let's go with that. That's a great.
Oh, the kids will love that. The kids will get right around that.
Let's stay with what's pooch at the moment and move on from the Tassie Rats and get straight into what reeked of putridness. And I'll start with you, Daisy. What team was the most pooch for you last week?
Oh, there was a few of them. Look, it's hard to go past the Blues, really, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
the games of Port Adelaide, they were up there as well, and you boys may touch on them. But for Carlton to lose that one in a season where every game's going to be super important and winning the games you should win is going to come down arguably to what makes you in the finals or in the top four. This is a game, no doubt, in 23 weeks' time that they will look back on and go, there's 4 points and some percentage we should have had.
The one thing I love to do after a bad loss is go straight to social media, and if their social media team's got any integrity, they have to post the full-time results, right?
Love the caption.
And the comments, mate. I think there was 1,500 comments in like 10 minutes for the Carlton fans just blowing up. Have a look at a few. If you see an upset this week, just get straight in the comment section because, mate, there's some filth getting in there and they're not happy.
Are we any chance just to get like a burner phone just so we can have a voicemail?
Well, that new account you've opened up, Daisy, I reckon that could be our burner. But
I'll put your phone number to it.
You better not.
The keyboard warriors, mate. They're all a part of it, mate.
You either lean into them or you just run away.
I can't stand it when you're going against your team, but there's elements where on the weekend I kind of let rip on Freo. I had to do it because I'm starting to feel the pain, but the comments is another thing because it's there forever and geez, they let rip. What about you, Wal? Who was the most pooch for you?
Yeah, Port Adelaide were. Now, unfortunately, there's a lot chat around the succession planning that Port have in place with Kenny and some of the backlash he's copped, the booing from fans. He is the whipping boy at the minute, but it's one of those ones where it's round one. You've got to put some onus on the players. You talk about Connor Rozee and Ollie Wines and Travie Boak. They all had plenty of ball, but some of the poor defensive efforts around the contest, which allow Collingwood just to score so easily, who were under the pump, mind you, after their round zero performance. I was just so let down by them. And it did prove something that I thought they were going to slide this year. And all indicators are that they've got a lot of work to do if they're going to come back from that.
21 goals, 10 was Collingwood's score. 15-9 of that was from turnover.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. So, and that's a glaring stat. And can you turn that round in a week? We'll wait and see.
And Dan Houston best on, surely you put someone on him.
Oh, yeah.
Well, maybe you should have gone down that route instead of Caleb
maybe you
Daniel.
should have picked him instead of Caleb.
Yeah, there's learning. Mate, hold the tongue for this week.
Speaking of coaching, is Hinkley, the scrutiny's going to continue, and it's going to happen all year because if they're going to continue to get spanked, let's discuss the succession plan and its effectiveness because we know he's got 1 year left and in comes Carr, but it's a bit of an awkward situation. You've been there with Mickey Malthouse and Bucks, or you've been not been there, but you're around it. What's your thoughts on it?
Well, ours was different. I've said this a couple of times because we were playing well. We were going deep, which makes it a very hard situation. We come off a win, a loss, and a draw, and then the bloke gets sacked on the back of that or moved on. This is completely different. If I'm Port Adelaide, I'm coming out, and I'm talking to both the boys once again just to say, are we all still on the same page? Kenny, you want to be here? Absolutely he will be, because he loves to fight and he won't turn it up ever. Carr will go, yep, I'm on board as well. And then you come out and you say, right, this is the last time we are making a statement on this. If anything changes, we will come to you. But as a football club, we will not answer one more question about this. This is the plan. This is what's happening. Kenny is our man. And if you don't like it, write on the comments, but we will not be answering a question about it until something changes.
Period. That's a great comment. And I love that, because Kenny's been a servant of that club for so long.
But we, as an industry, we feel that we have the right to ask these questions and they get answered. Just for 2 weeks, say, we've spoken about this. Refer to our statement. Refer to our statement.
The only thing that will back that up is the players. The players have to put out a performance that's going to steer it in the right direction.
Yeah,
because if they keep dishing up that shit.
Well, they get Richmond this week, so I'd imagine they get a chance to go 1-1 and just ease up the storm.
Yeah.
But even until they can't make finals, like you can put that caveat out there if you have to, but even that, you don't need to do that. Kenny's our guy for the end of the year. Have some respect, show him what he deserves. You're right, he's been the whipping boy for not a whole lot of fairness over the time. Give the bloke a spell as well. So Harley Reid, you can jump off him. Give Kenny a break. Who else?
Oh, we'll keep going. I'll tell you.
Jackson Archer.
The Carlton
take
social
it easy.
media team need a break, because here's a couple more comments. Refund. Here's the 4 I was looking for. Refund on 2025 membership, please. Round 1, they want a refund.
Was that from D Thomas _39?
That was Ryback Beach.
Is anyone up?
Dylan Robb's gone. Richmond's rebuild is going faster than Carlton's premiership window. Holly O'Neill, is therapy, this one's good, is therapy included in the membership? And then Ryan Sheen, it's actually impressive the way this club finds new and creative ways to let me down. There you go. So great work. That's
What
nice.
about you, Shane? I'll
be quick because I want to get onto this week, but Fremantle really disgusted me. I expect them to bounce back, but it was just really nasty stuff to watch. You know, you take the young man Reid out, and he kicks 4 in a row. One of the greatest patches of play I've ever seen. I couldn't believe it. I'm looking for Amos to just get a kick on goal. No, I was watching it live while I was working out, and geez, I was getting angry, boys, because I take this Propeller seriously, and I'm watching Geelong just put on a display that was almost embarrassing when I look back at my tip. And what Fremantle dished up in the third quarter was really exciting. But how can you do that round 1 when you've had, how hard's pre-season, boys? You can't tell me you rock up and go, oh shit, we're 60 points down at half time. I mean, I understand it's hot and we're in Geelong, but come on, fellas. You're meant to be top 4 this year. We won a flag in Fremantle, so I was really angry, you know?
That was a rant.
It was a rant.
Well, it's the time. You've got to win a flag. This competition's hard. If you're not going to win it now, well, it's time to stand up.
The only ship that hasn't stopped in the Fremantle Harbour. The premiership. Clip it up. Leave your feedback.
The anchor, they'll be back, the Dockers, boys. They will bounce back.
You reckon?
I'll talk about that later.
To the anchor at the minute.
That's an outlier performance, but I just thought they were puke.
What do you mean an outlier performance?
You'll see on Sunday.
They played one game. That is their entire performance.
It's an outlier on the season. We'll refer back to this on the playback later in the year. Now let's get to the grouse. Who stepped out on the field this week, boys, and just said, sit back and watch me get to work? Daisy.
Well,
yeah, I'll go first. No, and look, it was a counterpart to who you're talking. Geelong, obviously. Look, they had a 10-goal last quarter. Now, that's an absolute thrashing, but we talk about Bazball, Bailey Smith, he was my smoky to make All-Australian. That's nearly confirmed. But, put him and Holmes, I reckon they're going to be one of the most dynamic midfield duos come season's end. Cameron was up and about, and even their defence, I think Freo had 170-odd handballs, and down at the Cattery, down at GMHBA, if you're over handball, you get into trouble. So a really complete performance, nearly 150 points they scored, so scoring freely. Look, they were. I'm not surprised that they started off so well. It was a big win, but I still reckon they're going to be fighting right to the end of the year, and even a premiership is on the cards.
Jesse Cameron was pretty well held. He kicked 4, and the Koning is the best ruckman I've ever seen, and so is his brother. Them boys are going to be very well paid in the next 10 years. But if you watch the game, he balked, I think, Clarkey, who's a half-back and a very good one, and just sold him some candy. He went back and snapped a 45-metre goal. And I thought, this is unbelievable. Geelong are the real deal. Daisy?
It would have been tough in that backyard, wouldn't it? Playing against those two.
Imagine being imagine being the old man at 12, when they're 12 years old going, geez, they've got me already.
Taller than you. Yeah. My grouse is the Suns. I told you they'd be good, and they are good. They are the real deal. They will be playing finals. You heard it here first. on top of the ladder after round 6. Oh, I don't know if there's still a little chance that happens with the first game being cancelled, but they are flying. I loved it. That's what they needed to do. They needed to make a statement. They won away from home. They were emphatic. They were brilliant. They were well coached, well drilled, and they will play finals.
Geez, they've got a mean midfield when you look at it on paper. Well said, Daisy. And I'm going to go to Adelaide. Nixie has the boys humming. I tipped them for 8 last year, but they had a lot of injuries. Thilsthorpe, your big Fogarty, Rankin can play on ball, go forward. Backline, nice youth. Isaac coming, Peatling in, all playing a role. Oh, they were outstanding. I know they played the Saints, but I like their game plan. I like the way they play. And if you look across the board, I like Dawson, who's he is one of the best players in the competition in my books. And he'll be All-Australian by the end of the year, I reckon. So
they were a surprise for me because I'm still not sure where they are because they have been in the abyss since they played off in a grand final. They've been horrible. So this could be the year. I like your confidence.
Righto, boys. Well, it's time to get into this week's games, round 2. And if there's a club under the pump, there's no one bigger than Carlton, who take on the Hot Hawks, the Hawk Ball. And we have just seen the teams, and King Charles is named. I've just spat that out because I'm excited. But King Charles is in. And all of a sudden, this game is more exciting. Daisy.
It certainly is. The Blues without, they're both 2 big forwards up there were no good. Their midfield's got depth. Their back line is now questionable. And without the 2 big boys, they've shown that they are really susceptible to decent defence and not being able to kick a score. I put the faith in Harry Mackay last week, and boy, oh boy, did he let me down. So this week, he'll have his counterpart there. He'll have big King Charles. The 2 boys will run rampant. Barras and Battle probably go to them. Sicily's going to be a chance again to intercept or go forward. Shapes is a cracker. But the Blues, I'm tipping, they bounce back.
I was waiting for someone to do that.
And do I declare my bet that I'm having here, or do you want to save it?
Save it.
All right. Well, I'll tell you it is in this game.
You're going to go Thursday night again.
Greatness, mate.
And you're on Triple M, aren't you? So we're going to be getting bombed.
I'm not.
Oh, you're
I'm
not.
I'll be sitting at home now. I just filled in last week.
Oh, there you go. So you're going to ping us every disposal if it is a disposal bet?
Well, it is. And yes.
Oh, right.
Well, it looks like we got 25 or 30 text messages coming our way again. Well, which I don't mind. They get me excited every time it goes bing. Yep. Now, while we're on this game, boys, we know our friends at Statmate, they went bang last week. Cripper, 30 plus. He had 32. He averaged 7 of his last 9 was 32. Well, that's 8 from the last 10. Guess who they've highlighted this week? A little gem for everyone on a Thursday night to kick off their week. It is Jai Newcomb. Averaging 28.2 disposals in his last 5 matches at the MCG, hitting 25 plus in 4 of them, and he's currently $1.80 with our mates at PointsBet for 25 plus. So Jai Newcomb shaping up to be a nice little cheeky bet for your multiples on Thursday night footy.
Mate, love what Jai's doing. Yeah, he's, like I said, I think I said at the top start of the year, he's going to be a star of the comp and be in the top 10 for the Brownlow.
Statmate is the grouse.
They are the grouse. They are 1 from 2, but that was probably because I asked for 10 tips in opening round. So I will take the blame for that, as I've been pooch, and I'll be looking to be the grouse this week with Newcomb in my multiples. As we say, don't forget, Statmate is your new best mate when it comes to building your same game multi, analysing games of footy, or just helping your fantasy footy team. And the best part is it's free, so download it. It's available on the App Store now. Boys, I think it's a little bit of merit in touching on Footscray's 100th year and a little brief word on the game against the Pies before I get into the next one. Just 100 years for the club. Well,
yeah, and it's very significant. Obviously, we've only won the 2 premierships, and we've been through a journey, and always been a bit of the poor cousin a lot of the time. But the powers that be have put us in a really strong position in the past 10 years. A lot of that thanks has to go to Peter Gordon, now Meat Baines, who's carried that forward. But a celebration, 100 years in the competition. Some of the stars of yesteryear will be there. The old man and myself are heading along to the president's.
I like that he added that on some stars of yesteryear.
Can I just ask, what kind of watch should you, the old man, roll into a function like this with a crowd from Footscray?
He'll have to get in there. The AP might have to come out, but we'll open the safe and see what number he pulls out for this one. But no, look, it is a celebration. I must admit, there's a lot of people that have contributed to the club over a long time, and they'll be celebrated. And hopefully, the boys can get up. I actually am doing a little skit at quarter time.
A skit?
Ooh, what do you got?
Not skit, but I'm kicking the footy up for someone from the crowd for a chance to win.
We need to talk about this. Take some footy boots and just put on your left shoe. Slippery. I've been kicking footies on the G in like just casual clothes with 7. It gets slippery as all shit. And if you lean back on it in your RM Williams, in your MCC kit, you would have gone tits up.
Mate, why are you giving him the tip? I would have loved to see this.
That's good. That's just, I don't want to see it. Just knocks himself out, all the cash flying around everywhere.
Shivers.
Yeah.
Anyway, on a side note, that'll be fun, but a big night for the club. Congratulations to everyone who has put in over the time, and I wish them all the best, and I reckon they're going to get the job done.
Well, mate, it's going to be a big game Friday night, the Dogs and Pies. Have you got a quick tip for us?
Yeah. So I think I'll go – I didn't tip for Carlton and Hawthorn, so I might go back there. I reckon Hawthorn will win that one. Quite comfortably, 4 goals. And for the Doggies and Pies, the Dogs will come through with a 2-goal win.
The Dogs, after the Pies did what they did last week, I'm going to stay with the Pies, but if there's a reason to get up, it's the 100th year, and sometimes you just fire up for them and go back. I don't mind the Blues as well, Daisy. I reckon there's an upset, and the way I'm going, I'm stinking it up. So I thought the Hawks, why don't go the Blues and jump on the roughie?
Well, the Bulldogs fans still dislike me from me ruling a line through them last year with the Sharpie. So I think that Collingwood will get the job done comfortably.
Oh, he's hit the face while he said it. Righto. Well, it's time to get onto my game. This is my must-watch. Essendon hosting the Adelaide Crows, and
why do you like it?
The reason I like it is because there's a player under the pump. It's Mackay, and he's going to have his work cut out for himself this week with Thilthorpe and my man, the Big Fog. I think the Fog's the man, and with Texan rolling around as well, Benny Mackay is going to have a big day. But if he can stand up and the Dons can continue to win that contested nut and somehow get to work on the outside and be a little bit of an upset, I reckon I've got a big call here, boys, but the winner of this game will play finals.
Oh, that is a big call at round 2.
It is a big
I like
call,
it.
but the winner of this game will play finals, and I'm very confident if Adelaide win this, they're playing finals, and if the Dons can win this, I think they can get their season back on track and sneak in for finals. So I'm going to tip Adelaide.
Just with the contested ball numbers, and there's a trend already. I've been across it and crunching some numbers. Contested footy used to be the be-all and end-all. The clearances, we've got to be hard, we've got to be tough. This year already, it doesn't mean stuff all. So if you're looking at the stats and you're going, we won contested possession by this, but we lost the game, it's all about inside 50s, transitional scoring, D50 to forward 50, and scores from turnover. They're the metrics now you need to take a look at and need to be across. So when you're thinking of your tips, who rebounds well, who's applying maximum pressure, that's where you should be leaning.
I might put the boots on, boys, because contested nut wasn't my thing, but I can tell you I can run and I can sling.
Resurrect. Tom.
Quick tip there, while we fly through.
Yeah, Adelaide.
Bomb race.
Bit of a pity here with Langford and Ridley out. That's why I think Adelaide will win. Let's keep going through. Let's skim Port Adelaide and Richmond.
Port, comfortably. Kenny, love you.
Yeah, love you, Kenny, and Port as well.
Port will go well.
Every time we tip Port this year, we got to say love you, Kenny.
Love you, Kenny.
Support here.
Port, mate. St Kilda, Geelong at
Love
Marvel.
Love you, Kenny, but Geelong.
Yeah. Geelong
At
comfortably.
$1.24, like, what are we missing here? That is just like if you had the house and you needed to just make a little...
You can't say that. That's not responsible.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, you can use it in Wals situation. If you had one of your 15 houses.
If you had 15 houses, you would put one of them on the Cats this week, wouldn't you, Wal?
Cats will win comfortably, yes.
Moving on to the Lions hosting the Eagles at the Gabba. That could get ugly.
Yeah. West Coast have to find something, don't they?
Yeah, it's 6-hour flight.
Let's not waste time on this, boys, because I just heard the boys have had a look at the celebrity shout-outs, and they reckon there's 3 from 3 big names, so I can't wait to get to the Propeller.
West Coast will get smacked.
Yep.
North hosting the Melbourne Demons at Marvel.
D's.
D's.
And no one upset. I reckon it's got a
North let me
little
down
bit of...
last week. They should have won.
I reckon it's got a little bit of a smell about it.
There's
but
venom
D's.
there, yeah.
It actually does have a bit of a sniff, and it's always the week after you tip them. And then Fremantle, who will be favourites at $1.65 against Sydney Swans, who are 0-2, but they've played some tough teams, and now they have to go to Perth and play for the Fremantle Dockers, who are going to be angry, and I can absolutely guarantee you they'll start on fire.
Yeah. Amos will kick 4 or 5, and the Dockers will win, and you won't go with him this week.
This is my must-watch, so we will go into a little bit more detail around this game, and we've touched on it a lot, how embarrassing Fremantle were.
Your words.
My words as well.
Yeah,
I agree.
Words.
I was just trying to make
you're
them seem
ranting.
worse.
Yeah, no, okay, real bad, really embarrassed. No, but look, they've got the midfield depth, but they just didn't provide that drive. I expect a really big response on their home deck. Obviously, they're comfortable there. A miss, 0 shots, as we touched on, let us down. on the profit propeller. But I think the shining light was Murphy Reid, and I seriously think that they're just going to bounce back. It's time they did, because if we go over to the Swannies camp, look, I'm not cashing in all my chips just yet, but if they're 0-3 by the weekend, it's a long way back, and a lot of us have tipped them to slide. You did touch on the contested possession and clearance numbers. They've been smashed in both games. I know it's not a clear indicator of performance, but they do pride themselves on that, so they'll need to bounce back there. But the biggest stat that's glaring, the grand final, the uncontested marks versus Brisbane, there was 158-88 in the grand final, and on the weekend, 145-81. So they are getting sliced and diced with ball in hand from the opposition. So they need to start defending the ball better. They're spending too much petrol tickets on defending. And then with ball in hand, the absence of Errol Goulding, wow, it's really coming to the fore, unfortunately. So they're going to find some other ways to score and attack. Not panic stations, but I still think if they don't get this one done, it's a long way back. And in saying that, Freo by 30 points.
Wow. Well, it's a long way back then, because they've got the bye the next week. So it'll be a tough bye at Coogee Pavilion on the Sunday, thinking about 0-3.
Literally a long way back too.
Yeah, a long way back.
It's something that you boys wouldn't understand, because you just play in Melbourne every week.
Bull twang.
Oh,
Collingwood. Mate, we've got to
He's
marvel
never
twice
travelled,
a year.
mate. When did you travel? Fremantle every second week.
We lived in Gold Coast for bloody 6 months.
Your
mate.
away game was Marvel or MCG, you blokes.
Yeah.
You just don't travel.
Mate, it's 3 tram stops from the MCG to Marvel. Nearly an overnight trip.
I reckon it's a
You
benefit.
guys are unbelievable. Well,
who do you reckon? Are you in the Swans camp
I'm
or
on
the
the
Freo
Fremantle
camp?
bandwagon. I think they'll get over the line by a kick, because I don't think they're
close.
going that well. But I think Sydney are going to give everything they've got, and they nearly beat the Premiers last week with, I thought Brisbane would win easily. So they've got enough there, I think, Swannies. But this is no easy game, and it might be the game of the round on a Sunday. Yep. So I'll tip Freo with a bounce back, but they'd want to start well.
That one I tipped. Fremantle also.
Yes.
Well, don't forget. Jeez, he's slow there, Daisy. You're still a bit rattled after the call about flying home. Don't forget, the AFL hits different, just like the PointsBet app, boys. Now with faster design, the AFL bet tracker to follow every disposal, a bit like when Daisy sends you a text on the Thursday night. You get each player's last 5 stats plus video previews from our AFL experts. This is betting made for true footy fans. Download the app now. PointsBet. Built different. I'll tell you what's built different, and it is this segment we've got coming up, that Profit Propeller. We don't have the butler here today, so I'll bring it over in a second. But before we start with the Profit Propeller, it's time for the Profit Propeller VIP Celebrity Challenge, and we've all gone out to the market and we've tried to find the biggest fish we could find to promote the Profit Propeller. Boys, before we get into it, because this is exciting, how did you go? Because it was a fucking nightmare on my behalf.
Well, I sent one message and got it back within 15 minutes.
So it's a close friend?
No.
Oh, geez, you've got some pull these days.
No,
Mate,
you
he's got his
agree
own
with Daisy.
website. He's got his own company
He's got
now.
3,000 Instagram accounts. He'll have an Instagram account for the Profit Propeller Celebrity Challenge soon.
4,000 phones. Oh, boy.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you, Tommy. I spent the best part of a day, because you guys did throw it on me quite late, because I was.
Oh, hang on a second.
Mate,
I had the whole day to get the bloke on guitar.
We threw it on you and you had a world-class celebrity with you for a week.
He probably wouldn't understand, because he spoke for half an hour on the Brisbane-Sydney game and didn't get to the challenge.
I did it.
And your family members were walking in the back just ruining the show.
I did actually. I sat them down and told them not to do that.
I reached out to 3 people, and there was talks of David Beckham on one of mine. And I missed, but this video was, he goes, I think I can get David Beckham. And I went, if you can get Beckham, I can at least walk in here with a wobble. I didn't get him, so I've got someone else.
So are we doing all
I've got Archie Thompson.
so we're doing all the fake chows here. We're going, yeah.
Well, I want to know who else you try to reach out to. There's a couple of big dogs. I know I'll name a few out later, but I've actually got a couple I think will rock up tomorrow, so I might bring them out next week.
Yeah, on
a
the
weekly challenge.
Well, I don't mind the weekly challenge.
Jesus,
Not
okay.
a weekly challenge.
Well, I've reached out to that many people, and they're all starting to come back now. I go,
can't
man, I
call
needed
all
it
your
before 2
favourites
p.m.
in.
Nah, let's hold those chips.
All right, well-
there's a couple that owe me favours, and we'll call in those.
Geez, we spent some pennies on this. Okay, so what we've done is we've sent these videos to Braden, and I believe we're going to start with Wals' video, then Daisy's, then mine, in no particular order.
No, that's a very particular order. That's Wals and
That
me
is a
than you.
very particular order. But I meant from behind the scenes, they haven't put the best till last. We don't know what's coming. So, all right, well, let's get a little roll it out, and let's hope it's not a stinker. Here we go. Who's the first one?
Hi everyone. I'm Bill Shorten. Listen, I've helped run the country. Nothing gives me more pleasure than introducing the Profits Propeller, which is done by ACES AFL. I'd encourage all of you to get your local football and netball clubs to put your tips in, and fingers crossed that the savant compares who are running the show don't let you down. Anyway, good luck. Get on board.
Pretty good. If you could explain what the fuck savant means, that'd be
Bill
nice.
Shorten.
Yeah, legends, it means. No,
I wasn't ready. I actually didn't know who it was at the start. I go, who's this businessman?
How?
so really close family friend of my wife's family. Used to be neighbours. Doggies fans, I think. But look, he's a great man. Obviously, very
Pretty good
recognisable.
start.
Very recognisable across the country.
Very recognisable. Tommy had no idea.
Not a politics kind of operation over here. More of a sport man.
He was in charge of running the country, mate. So anyway, but thank you, Bill. I
Thank you,
appreciate
Bill.
it. Yeah,
Thank you, Bill.
you're a star,
Love you,
mate.
Kenny.
Thanks for being a supporter of the show.
Got good mentions in too, like about mine's probably not as much.
Yeah,
as
the brief's hard, isn't it? Like when you send the brief, you're like, mate, probably should be paying you for this. But hey, well done. So we're gonna, before we get to Daisies, we're going to put these on Instagram, and there's going to be a poll. And next week, boys, we're going to have a little celebration of who won.
Right.
And maybe there's something for who come last. We'll talk about that later. Okay. Righto, let's roll into Daisy's Celebrity Challenge.
No surprise that my guy Daisy is dominating the Profit Propeller. So train and Wal, you need to lift.
I don't know. Where were your eyes then?
Don't be like
what
that.
did she just say? I lost me. I got a bit rattled then. What's going on?
You know who it is, though.
Man, I only saw. It went real fast. I just didn't know where to look.
I'm glad that question was posed at you,
I
Tommy.
didn't know where to look, Daisy.
Mate, I can't breathe over here.
I actually don't know who that is, but I want to know who it is. Well, oh my
Can you
God.
please explain?
Get it back on your mic. Explain what did I just witness? And he said 15 minutes it took. That's got to be.
Paige Sporanich.
The golfer?
The number one golfer in the world, the number one followed golfer in the world from Instagram, 4 million Instagram followers, Maxim's 2022 World's Sexiest Woman.
Oh, I think she's 2024-5 and the rest. Holy shit. I need a little break here. A little pitch tent over in the corner. Who's got another run sheet?
Wow, Daisy.
You folks are sickos.
You lost the plot, Daisy. All right, well, let's get to...
Can we just spend one more minute on
I can't believe I've just seen that. I was expecting, to be honest, I was expecting a male sports person or something, and you've rolled out the hottest chick in the world. Oh, my God.
Have you played a round of golf with Sir Madam?
Can we play that again, please? I didn't hear what she said. I was distracted.
No surprise that my guy Daisy is dominating the Profit Propeller. So train and Wal, you need to lift.
Wow.
What great work, mate.
No, well done.
This is going to be fun. I think we do this every 3 weeks because I can't believe what I was.
Abs by the end of this. Oh, shit.
Oh, God, that is very good. Well done,
speechless.
Paige. Well done. We do need to lift well.
We do need a lift. Is it worth showing yours?
Yeah, I think I've got
Or do you want to just go back and show one more? No, okay. We're getting our views up here.
Righto, roll the last
come on,
one.
keep pushing forward.
What's up, boys? Cooper Jean here. I'm loving the Aces AFL show and your new segment, Profit Propeller. Please give it a big spin for me this week and keep up the good work.
One of the greatest white DBs that just won the Super Bowl for the Philadelphia Eagles, arguably could have been MVP, picked off Patrick Mahomes, Cooper DeJean.
No, what?
It's a good effort. But
it really
it was always going to be a hard act to follow.
I just wish you put him first. Because so we've got Bill Shorten. I don't know her name. I'll never forget her head.
Mate, you're not married yet. I'm going to be really...
I can't believe what I've just... I mean, I've gone out for almost the Super Bowl MVP and I'm going to get rolled. I can't believe I'm going to get rolled after doing that.
Sorry.
I would have got on bloody Cameo and got Lisa Ann or something if I'd have known this was the theme of the bloody segment.
Yeah, we are derailing here. So how did you go about getting him? Because that's a big get.
It was a pretty big effort.
Just trying to shine the light off
second,
Daisy.
I think the American Aces community should be getting right behind him, but Tory Taylor really helped me out with that one.
You had him on the pod last week.
Yeah, well, but mate, I've reached out to a lot of people, and Tory, big shout out, got the chocolates for me. And our man, Tribunal, what a man. Righto, it's time for the Profit Propeller
Here we
Week
go.
2. I'm going to put it on me lap. Daisy, you give it a spin. But before we start, read out the 2 new teams that are on the Propeller.
Yeah, we got the Knox Footy Club up there, and we also have, Aquinas Old Collegians Football
Ringwood.
Club. Yeah, Ringwood Knox. So good to see representing out that way. All right, give it a pump up. Come on.
Here we go. Right, for the second week, who is going to get the chance to walk home with?
I think Wals rattled from Page. He still needs I think he needs another time.
I'll go again. Shit. Sorry.
Daisy, give me a big spin. Come on, Daisy. It's time to spin the propeller. It's off. The winner from week 2 on the Profit Propeller is going to be
Avondale Heights.
Bang, bang, bang. Avondale Heights. Oh, they've just lost their full forward, I heard, last year. They're going to need some cash to get him back in the club.
Put that down so we can see.
All right, there you go. The Profit Propeller Celebrity Challenge is done. We're going to put that up on social media. It is going to be a voting system. I think we go comments and we just post it. Daisy, you create an emoji. I'll create an emoji, and so can Wal. And whoever has the most emojis on the post next week wins. Something like that. Get some engagement. I'm looking forward to everyone's feedback on who won the challenge. It's time to put our tip in. Avondale Heights, congratulations. You are going to have a chance at probably 16 to 20 grand plus, because that's how it works when you go $2 times 4. Let's hope we can go 4 from 4. I know that Daisy has Thursday night football. You're going to put your plums on the line again. So let's start with you, Daisy. Who are you locking in for the Profit Propeller in round 2?
Well, this is what we do. To be greatness, you have to be fearless and you have to stare adversity straight in the face sometimes and just go, you ain't got shit on me. So Thursday night footy, Sammy Walsh, 30 or more disposals, $2.10 is that leg. We lock it in. We say pay the people on the Profit Propeller.
I love the pay the people. You might need to get a hat on that. Let's go, Wal.
We do have to pay the people, and I'm going to Friday night. I'm not going to steal your glory on Thursday night.
Did you say boring?
Steal your glory, mate.
Far out. I better slap the boy.
No, steal your glory. Dan McStay, 2 goals plus at $2.10.
Oh, nice.
I think that's a lock. Now, if you look at who the Bulldogs are missing in that back half, I think he's a massive, most of them.
He's 5 last week.
Yeah, lucky. And even, who else? Zerha like kicked 1 goal, 10. Yeah. So I think McStay's definitely going to get an opportunity to hit the scoreboard. If he kicks 2 goals, we're in for a big one.
And all the momentum rolls into me on the Saturday. I'm going to lock in Shannon Neal from the Cats to kick 2 goals. You're getting $2. He looked very good. Alex Pearce playing fullback for the Dockers is one of the best defenders in the league, but the Saints, they gave up a lot of goals last week against Adelaide, and I just think that a lot of attention will be going into Jezza Cameron. Surely Shag Neal can just get at the back. I think he'll kick 4. So 2 is going to be me, and our last bet for the Propeller is going to be our man Chuck, the president of the football club at Avondale Heights, and we haven't got him on the line. He's got about 24 hours to submit his bet, which I'm sure he will once we're off air. So, lads, that is the Profit Propeller locked in for week 2. Geez, I'd love to just give back to a local football club and take that briefcase that Wal had in that social clip and fill it with a lot of cash. All right, let's round out the show. Great show, boys. Good to see you. Monday headlines. Let's go with you, Daisy. What can you predict for Monday?
I've got 2. Will you accept 2?
You can give us 3 if you want. I mean, one's on the one. Well, you only need 1, but you can give me 2.
This one's quite topical.
You just don't want to go 0 from 2.
This is not about the bloody pop that we're doing.
All right. Can we go to last
what did I say last week?
Last week's one, Daisy. He actually changed his mind. He originally had Mackay kicks 10 and the Blues fire up on Thursday night. Then he changed to the Dons will start the year on fire. So what do you got this week?
This week, it's a good one. I didn't have one. I was going to go with something about the Tasmanian Tigers because that needs to be, or the Devils, whatever, they need to change that mascot. But my big one for this week, the Monday headline will be Blues bounce back. BBB, baby.
Did you read my notes?
No, I tipped it.
The alliteration.
You know what
You boys are very naughty.
What? Well, if you can go with the same headline.
Well, I'm not. You've read my
I didn't. I swear I didn't.
Mate, you've been doing it on Monday night. Anyway, so Carlton back on track. Curnow the saviour.
yes.
They could have, something about King Charles.
Yeah, King Charles. Well, I wasn't going to steal your line either, but it's just, what goes around comes around, Daisy.
Mine is Jai just doesn't miss. 4 goals, Dockers win. I know he's going to roll me. I just know he's going to roll me. So that's putrid, that one. But anyway, that's
Good show. Wrap it up, Tommy. Get us out
cut
of
mine
here.
out. Mine's about Dry Amos bouncing back. All right. We've lost track here. I still can't get over Paige. Gee, she's hot. Let's move on. That's all we got on the Aces AFL show. Let us know what you think. There's plenty coming your way on the socials. Hey, subscribe to this podcast. Get it up. Send it to a mate. And we'll see you next week. Let's hope a couple of our predictions come off. Thank you.
Wait for it. Go!
The bounce of the footy, roar of the crowd. It hits different, just like the PointsBet app. Now with a faster design, AFL Bet Tracker to follow every disposal, each player's last 5 stats, plus video previews from AFL experts. This is betting made for true footy fans.
PointsBet, built different. You win some, you lose more. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.